This is the vegan anarchist and my friend Daniel, or I should call Danny.
Hi, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. Hi, I'm from Red Star Videos, and today we're talking about anarchist charities, if they exist. I mean, if we're gonna make one, hopefully.
Yeah, anarchist mutual aid societies.
Yeah,
So
something like
let's
that.
get started. Mm-hmm.
So then some of us snap your name, but yeah, basically that. Um, so me and Samantha were talking about this, and basically what sort of like firstly for me, like I feel a bit disgruntled with like kind of anarchist and socialist organizations today, because I know Samantha, like we were talking about like political parties and like how they tend to be what was it, kind of like centrally controlled, or more like have like a really
And
rigid,
status and hierarchical and
yeah,
things like
really,
that.
yeah, rigid command structure and stuff like that. um I mean, as far as of course, it's not really such a thing as like an anarchist like political organization, per se. I mean, like a political party, like straight up like run for elections sort of thing. Um, unless I guess you want to count maybe the Pirate Party, but anyway. um,
Arrgh.
I mean, they're okay, they're cool.
Intellectual property, the biggest spook of all time, kills millions of people.
uh, a spook? Am I you, Torrent? It's more likely than you think. Anyway, um, and also just like the image that we have now, because at least it seems like now with Antifa and all of them, I used to be kind of like an advocate for like, well, just because it's bad publicity it still means it's publicity. um but nonetheless, I think kind of like the violent image we that the media attributes to us, um and how anarchists, at least on the internet, I've seen, and even sometimes in real life too, from the people I know anyway, anarchists I know, um, they seem like just a relish in the idea of like of violence and stuff. Like, yeah, fuck the cops, kill the cops, kill Donald Trump and all of them, just die everywhere.
Yeah,
Kill the
left
capitalists, hang
book.
them all. Which, like, hey, I'm all for that and all. There's nothing
Mm.
against that. I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to persuade people, or at least like show that anarchism is a feasible thing for humanity, then you need to have more human traits to it than just kill, kill, kill. I mean, we're killing by
And
people, but nonetheless, it's still killing. So,
that also
and
like
nobody likes
negates
that
some
image.
of our like more compassionate mutual aid side.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
like I don't know. I think maybe like stuff like, I don't know, like the Earth Liberation Front or like Animal Liberation Front. I mean, they don't necessarily they're not like really about PR. They're just about doing things, which is
Mm.
okay. It's fine. I mean, but they definitely could have like some PR help there too, because like, I mean, like, of course they're doing good stuff, and all their acts are basically nonviolent. At
Well,
least ALF is. Earth
if you
Liberation
don't
Front, not so
count
sure.
property destruction, which the state counts as the same thing as killing people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a thing too, is like with like black bloc and whatnot, I mean, it is just mostly just property destruction. There's like very few times that black bloc people actually do attack cops, usually. I mean, it depends on what protest and when and where it happened, obviously. There's
If
a lot of
it's in
factors.
Greece, like every other weekend.
Well, Greece, yeah. Well, Greece is like a completely different situation. Being an anarchist is being violent is like okay there. People like are like totally on board for that. But in the US, not so much. Um, so basically, I think like our solution at least is to make organizations that are more peaceful, which there's like most anarchist organizations are already like that. Like in Portland, anarchists, they actually like go out and fix potholes, even, and despite the government and local media saying like, just how horrible that is. How horrible it is they're doing the government's job for them. uh,
They're doing the status job instead of we doing it.
hey, how come you guys are using our how come you're using our governmental image for the tax paying people who we don't would even utilize our taxpayer dollars for? How dare you?
Yeah,
um
man.
and like the biggest probably most widely known as food not bombs. Like they're not explicitly anarchist, of course, which I guess maybe is for the best in a way. um
Mm,
but they're entirely peaceful because all they do is just hand out food to the homeless. So but I want to do something like that. I mean, like of course, food not bombs. Isn't any as far as I know is not an official charity organization because basically it's just the people who volunteer are like the ones who bring the food and make the food and stuff like that. There's like no donations or whatever, as far as I understand it. Um, but nonetheless, I feel like if we just had like more new, like if we have more organizations like that were like more numerous, that could be a big help. So with like my idea was like something we do that was more overarching, like instead of just focusing like on food and stuff, it's gonna be like it can be food, it can be like having teaching communities like how to organize themselves and like how to build stuff and build houses. Um,
mm.
maybe teach I don't know medicinal things. I don't know. I'm
Gardening.
spitballing, but basically like do stuff that charities already do, but make it in a sort of like anarchist fashion, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I figure considering like most anarchists. Obviously, like our big emphasis is like we want to take care. We want to build a world of cooperation and solidarity. So what's the best? What's better than a charity that can do that? Because basically, most charities are kind of like that, except they're more hierarchical. Um,
And they're corporate and they're
yeah,
part of the nonprofit industrial complex.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. But basically, like we could pretty much do the same thing, and legally, we could also be like a charity too. And because of PR reasons, like nobody is gonna really criticize a charity for doing something terrible, and also the fact that considering like a charities are just all volunteers, like I wouldn't be so concerned about stuff like infiltration or sabotage from like FBI or CIA or whatever because it's just a charity. It doesn't. We're just there. First of all, it's like for image, and second of all, it's to help people. So really, you can't really take it down, you know,
It's more of a
because there's
mutual
nothing really
aid.
to take away.
I think it's more of a mutual aid society than a charity, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, charity is like the word I'm using just to be more mainstream,
Mm.
make it go down easier.
Oh
I mean, not
yeah.
not to say that mutual aid society has like a bad descriptor to it. It's just to me that feels like a more academic term than like
Mm.
common vernacular. You know. Um. So yeah, and it is totally feasible because even like political organizations like I forget who it was. Like me and you were looking like that same Facebook group with like what's her name again?
Blissful melancholy.
Blissful melancholy. And like they were mentioning like about this one black liberation store in like New York City. That's like has like tax exemption as like an official charity. You can volunteer there and stuff like that. Because like I mean, you say black liberation, it's sort of like a pretty political thing, and they're a bookstore too. So yeah, but they're an official charity. They get funding and stuff. So it's definitely possible. Definitely possible.
Oh
Um.
yeah. What we need to do is I'm thinking of making a coalition with like left libertarians and STEM socks and other
Oh yeah,
socialists.
obviously. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like a thing I've been thinking about a lot too is like it seems like a lot of organizations today are pretty disconnected. Not that there should be centralized. I just mean like there needs to be like a network, like a web among
Mm.
organizations. They like share resources, share people, um, you know, help each other out, stuff like that, like across like state borders and stuff like that. Like I think that would be great, but we don't really seem to have anything like that. Um, I mean, there's like a few organizations I can maybe think of that are similar. I think Food Not Bombs sort of does something like that. They might be just like a common image, but even them too, they don't really seem to share a lot of resources from like state to state. And I think we have like if we have like a close network, it would be much more efficient as well as it would help like anarchist organizations like not dissolve so quickly, because like some
Mm.
people like they want to start them and like they go on for like a few years and they just disappear out of the blue. So, which is a bit a shame for sure. So definitely just to help the existence of organizations work, also happens like that. I think maybe some anti-felt groups do that. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure they do,
Hmm.
depending, at least within a state, because it's easier to mobilize within a state, I guess.
I know some
Um,
anarchists tried doing that after Hurricane Katrina. Actually, I did hear a case
yeah,
study
yeah,
from,
yeah. I remember
and they
that.
were really successful for a few years.
What's that?
They were successful for a few years, but then they kind of
Yeah, yeah,
became
they
part
were.
of the NGO complex. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like stuff like that was like super effective. I guess considering it's it's a better image, after a disaster happens usually. I mean, like that's just, kind of the fact of it is just like, well, I mean, they're helping people during a hurricane, so no matter what their political affiliation is, they're doing good things. Even though it is important what their political affiliation is, obviously. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, because I mean, like, friggin' I mean, there's actually some stuff like that happened too in Texas. After Hurricane Harvey, was it? That's what you guys had?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I had
Yes.
Irma. That was fun. But
Yeah, it hit
anyway,
like Houston really hard, and like
yeah, yeah.
minorities
You
were
guys got hit the
disproportionately
hardest.
affected. Well,
Yeah,
my
I mean,
area
I mean,
missed it, but like up north got it.
mhm. Yeah, like yeah. Here in Florida, it was just Miami, and that was it because the hurricane just kind of went out into the ocean. So we got pretty lucky. Um, but yeah, anyway, like I remember, I don't remember where I saw this. It was on Democracy Now. They were actually having like this like mutual aid society in Houston. That was like making food for people and stuff, and like actually helping people like gather belongings, like and like not rebuilding, I guess. It was more like giving shelter elsewhere. So I forget what the organization's called. I should probably find it after this. But yeah, stuff like that, like I would really like to do, and like having it as like an official charity organization, it like cements it as as like a for real organization that can be recognized by any sort of like volunteer group or charity, as well as just like people can actually see it as a charity, and not just like a political group. Because like
Mhm.
again, being a political group isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just like when you because like a lot of people associate, at least in the US, basically like politics people associate with like conflicts, basically, which it's true,
Oh
it's
yeah.
right. But basically, if we just say like, no, we're here to promote cooperation, not conflicts, then that's a lot more. I think that's a lot better and a better image because people are more attracted to something where it's just like, oh well, they're just helping people. It's not for some sort of hidden agenda or whatever.
Yeah, and then
So
of
anyway,
course we're going to be a coalition and be very synthesis and work with other left libertarians and socialists.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then that would kind of help with that too.
Yeah, showing anarchists and not just rah rah rah, kill kill kill, pigs, um, and the rest of that. Like, no, we just all we want to do is help people. Like, I mean, that's the purpose of the violence too, obviously, but it's a lot harder to convince people considering violence is like a really emotional
Hmm.
thing. Obviously, well, I mean, helping people too is also an emotional thing, but that's like more of like gives more positive vibes, I guess. If you want to describe it like that. I mean, hey, I'm starting to be like a psychological researcher, so I don't think vibes are like an actual real thing. I'm not a hippy dippy person. I'm just saying that for shorthand, as in like people view it in a more positive light.
Hmm.
Just to clarify.
Mutually, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Um, but as I was talking to you before about this, Samantha, is like it's difficult because the only way to be like an official charity is like to file the proper paperwork as like a nonprofit, which is
Eight hundred
pretty
dollars.
is yeah, it's like $800, but like if you're a small organization, it's more like 400. But in order to like do it properly, you need to like actually have some legal help to actually look at it, and make sure it is correct, and that costs like about what was it they said here? I look it up again. It was like $2,500, I believe.
You might have to get
Um,
some anarchist
between
lawyers.
Yeah, we need Bob Black.
We need
um,
Lysander Spooner to reincarnate and get, go back from the grave.
if we have any anarchist lawyers in the chat, we would really appreciate some help here. That'd be nice.
Oh, you don't even need our
I don't know.
permission.
Maybe there
Take
is
it and
because
just
like the
run with
website.
it.
What's that?
Just take it and run with it. You don't need our
Yeah,
permission.
I mean, no, I know. But like again, like I was also telling you, like it takes like upwards like a year and a half just to get possibly approved. Most likely rejected too. So because IRS is shit, they don't work at all. Um,
Especially
yeah,
what Donald Trump's doing with it.
yeah, exactly. So it's feasible, like legally standing if the paperwork can go through. Um, it's just gonna cost a bit. So I don't know. Donate to our Patreons. Help us make a charity. I mean, hey, if we might as well just make like a GoFundMe page for this sort of thing. I mean, that could work, right?
Yeah, you might as well. Depends
Yeah.
on how much people we can reach with it,
We wouldn't
though.
be really official, I guess, but it could work. Um, I mean, the thing is like I was also looking at like the same website, and like they were talking about how like nonprofits can like get Google ads like for free, for like a limited time. Like Google will give you like, what was it? It can be upwards of $10,000. I think it might be fewer than that, depending on how Google feels about, I guess, about certain charities and stuff like that. Um, but like they give money to like promote their stuff using their using like their adware, like AdWords software. So you know that would be really good PR because like it's Google, it's everywhere. So that'd be easy. Uh, but yeah, again, you need to be official. You need to be official nonprofit. So yeah, I think this is a really good idea. I mean, like it doesn't have to be a charity. I just wanted it to be something where it can be like can put anarchists in a good light. There's a few organizations that were doing that. Um, like there's this one anarchist journal called Agency
Oh,
where
yes.
yeah, where like that's basically what they are. It's just like a anarchist PR campaign. Um, but they're just not big enough at the moment to really have an impact. So it's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, one of our biggest problems in the anarchist community is, of course, PR. And for a while, being smashy was fun, but at the end of the day, where does that get you? If if everybody's like turned away from you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Because yeah,
mean,
Smashy Smash. Yeah, you're right. Smashy Smashy is fun, but it's just too scary for liberals. I mean, like if we're convincing liberals, because I don't know. It seems to me like a lot of people are pretty not apolitical. Just they're just like sick of it all. Mostly of the entire
yeah.
political system of like the whole dichotomy and stuff. Um, because like what was it? I think like most people didn't even bother voting in the election. It was like 40%, and
Almost
most people in the
nobody
United
ever
States, huh?
Most people don't do that anyways, especially in the
Yeah,
off presidential years.
that's true. And like most people don't even like vote in local elections too. Like this is like it's like only seems to be the only people who do are like senior citizens, and that's it. Even for like federal elections too.
But we did
Uh,
run into some opposition because some people wanted to run candidates, and of course, we didn't feel good about that.
yeah. Oh, that reminds me. What did you think about Chelsea Manning running for Senate?
I'm kind of mixed about it
Hmm.
because on one hand, I have a crush on her, and I do wish her best luck. And the other hand, I don't like politicians, but then I like her, so it's a mental cognitive dissonance regarding her.
Yeah, I don't really know what she's trying to do because like I guess it's again maybe for more PR reasons. I want to say because
It probably
obviously,
is.
but yeah, because obviously like just look at our Twitter, just like looking at anything on our Twitter is just like yeah, she's obviously pretty anarchist and anti-government and stuff like that, anti-capitalist too.
Yeah,
But
posts. Oh,
Huh?
get rid of. She posts like get rid. No more presidents on Twitter all the times. I'm pretty sure she's like not. Also, she's definitely not deep state. Like whoever says that's full
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like which is I guess she's acting like pretty much like a pretty good politician because like she's running for senate, but also says like, oh, we don't want presidents or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like okay, um, like I get what she's trying to do in a way. I'm just wondering what was gonna accomplish, but I don't know.
Honestly,
It
one of
doesn't
the
really matter
biggest
if she wins.
one of the
I hope she
biggest
wins.
mistakes one of the
Yeah, go
biggest
on, go ahead.
mistakes the left has ever made was getting into statist politics and reformism.
Yeah. I mean, it's at least if you're like running for local offices, you can basically like talk about whatever you want to for the most part.
You could
I
be
mean,
like
like not
Donald
not on the
Trump.
federal level at least, but like state and local level, like you can debate with candidates, you can go to door to people, you can advertise, you can do all these things because like I remember I think it was like in 2015 in Lake Worth, Florida, one of like the people from like the Earth Liberation Front. And as far as I know, they're actually still pretty active within like local politics. The anarchists there, um,
Mm-hmm.
like one of them was like running for mayor, and their
Mm-hmm.
policy was like more chickens, less cops. Which because I think I can't remember what the exact details were, but basically she wanted to have because there's like certain laws about like not like sort of like farming laws, but basically like owning chickens within a city. Um,
Well,
and,
this
and
is I'm kind of vegan, so that's kind of a good example.
Well, no, I mean,
But
no, I don't know. I don't know what it was exactly she was trying to do, but it was something basically about how um she wanted more representation for like for like the farming community because like Lake Worth is like a really rural community for the most part,
mm,
and it's a very it's not a very small town, but it's smaller than like a city, I guess. It's large town, small city. Um, and there's also like a big immigrant population there too, like Puerto Rican people like that. Um, she says she had it was a really interesting experience because I remember because like Crime Think interviewed her and they were talking about how and she was mentioning like yeah some people were against that because basically being a mayor means you have power over people. Um, oh yeah, by the way, she did win too. She did win in 2015. Um,
lol.
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
like she
vote for one for that chicken part because I'm a total liberationist, so that wouldn't fit my anarchist ethos.
Yeah, again, I don't really know the full details of that. It had something to do with like farming laws or whatever. Um, but like when she got in, she couldn't really do much because the city council just kind of vetoed anything she ever proposed, even if it was something that could actually like be for their benefit. But city council just did not like her. But I mean, she won the mayoral candidate, so apparently a lot of people did like her. Like, and one of my favorite stories she told was like when she was going door to door. She was like that. She went up to this one old lady's house, and the old lady said, "You're the candidate who says you hate the police." And she was thinking in her head, I was like, "Oh shit." And then the lady says, "I hate the police too." uh, so in a way, I think it can be helpful because like it can connect with people,
Yeah,
in a sense.
local
So
elections are one thing, but like federal elections are another.
yeah, well yeah, because
Local
yeah,
elections is what really matters. Even that doesn't matter as much as like it matters a lot, but what we need is grassroots movement, and that's what the left is badly needed.
yeah,
Especially when the government co-opted the labor movement, and the labor movement is now a bunch of labor cartels. When most of the labor gains were made when unions were illegal and the state militias were called in to crush them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah, definitely like the labor movement has gone down dramatically. Like I don't know if it exists really, if you can really say that. I mean,
I
because like
heard
I know within
millennials
the
are
Green
dying.
Party. Because like I've talked to like a lot of people within the Green Party and whatnot, and like they have labor unions like talk about stuff. Like I remember last year, it's not last year, 2016. I went to like a Jill Stein rally where like she was like showing up and talking and whatnot. Um, and like they had like a lot of interesting speakers. Like the first one was a union, like a union leader of up in Orlando, and he was basically talking about how like capitalism is like using everyone's labor and exploiting everybody. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. And then they had the guy who wrote what was it, the New Jim Crow, like the author of that book. He
Ooh,
was there too. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to him, unfortunately. I think he left early or something. But yeah, he gave a really good speech too. And but then the speaker before Jill Stein, oh God, it was this dude. And the thing about Green Party is like they're like it's good. I think that I can invite you can anybody can participate in it. But like there's like a lot of there's like this little a very vocal minority about like those anti-GMO people and like
ah,
anti-globalist people. Well, not like Alex Jones, like right-wing globalists, but like I guess more left wing ish, if you want to call it that. And like they believe in chemtrails and stuff like that. And he gave like a really dumb speech. So I was like, I just kind of tuned that out, honestly. Um, yeah, but
yeah.
anyway, but anyway, like it's just like anyway, the labor movement certainly does exist to an extent. It's just not dead. It's just kind of like really nowhere. Um,
I heard saw a headline about millennials joining the labor union, but it was a Kyle Kalinske video.
oh, I wish. I wish. I mean, but even though like I had one of my mutualist friends, Max, he was talking to me about like we were like kind of talking about like labor unions and stuff like that, and like basically he said he didn't really have a lot of faith in them because like for the most part like the reason I can't quite remember what he said, but basically it was like syndicalism is like a really tough road to go down because unions are just like so very unpopular in the US, and it's just there's no way it could really get anywhere just from unions alone.
Mm.
And he also said stuff like and even then like the biggest unions is not like people like the IWW where like anybody can join, you don't have to pay a fee or anything, at least as far as I know. um, but like most unions require you like to pay like to be a part of it. Even then, like union leaders just don't really care about their people. They just kind of like take their money and fucking do whatever they want with it.
The
And they're usually like
labor
corporate shills too.
aristocrat.
So yeah. I don't know. Sometimes a bad union leader can be helpful by like pissing people off, and the union just kind of enacts a strike regardless. At least that's what happens like the 70s and 80s. I don't know. I doubt that'd be true for it now, but
I think that's what we should go to is just wildcat strikes just randomly happening, shutting down entire cities down.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
like something
instead of
like that.
pouring our time and effort for like protesting for a minimum wage or running for office or supporting candidates, we could use that money and time to actually do direct action and shut down the entire economies.
Yeah, but still, we need the people to do that, and that's kind of the whole point of
Mm.
this. So, and then, like that's
Because I
my I guess that was my argument. That was my argument with him was like I think unions can pull people in, because like like most people I do talk to like are like yeah I would love because like I talked to him like about how in Europe I guess I'm kind of glorifying it a bit in a sense just to try to convince people, but basically like unions in Europe are like way more powerful than they are here to some extent. Like in France, like and like what was it? Last year when the government and Macron's government like tried like to take away like labor rights and stuff, like the entire city just like basically like went on strike and like had riots and stuff. And
Mhm.
like like such an extent, like I think like those like the majority of Parisians were like out on the streets and stuff, like even high schoolers too. The
Hell,
majority of Parisians like out on the streets, and
we
that,
could
that and the
even
police.
yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm saying we could even invite Agoras into our movement. You might as well.
What is agorism again?
Counter economics.
Counter economics.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Basically, it's economics that involves things that the state doesn't tax or is off the state regulation and taxes. Typically black or gray markets.
Oh, okay.
So like drugs and sex works and stuff like that.
Well, sex workers are okay for sure, but I don't know about the drug part, to be honest. Unless it was like Colorado, I guess. But yeah,
Or is that the informal economy?
I mean, dude, I mean, fuck, man. Like everybody I know, like all socialists in Orlando are like a complete druggies too. So communists and socialists. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I don't hate them because they do that. They're just it's just kind of like the whole like stereotypical like pothead Marxist kind of like image. Yeah, it's just like we could do better.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like, and that's the thing too, I guess, of like libertarians as well. Like right wing libertarians are also all pawheads. So I know. I just don't think the whole drug idea is like such a good thing. But hey, anyway, like the agorist philosophy is fine. It's fine. Um, you know, at least it's more academic. You can take it more seriously.
I really have
Uh,
that in like I mean well mutualism algorithm more than like Ancapistan anyways.
yeah.
There's a
But
crossover just between agorists and Ancaps, but there are also agorists or mutuals.
new cheese.
Mutualists.
Oh, okay. New cheese. I thought you meant like some like kind of like new type of agorist. Anyway, dude, I had such a long day today. But anyway,
There's even an agorist syndicalist alliance.
yeah, that'd be yeah. We should have alliances and stuff too. I think it's definitely a lot easier to get anarchists to be more connected with each other than like having and trying to get new people within organization. I guess recruitment.
Yeah, we gotta stop feeding with some of the ANCAPs. Like most ANCAPs are basically hoppy and people who want to deport people. But I met a few ANCAPs who are decent people who are do care about workers and do care about organizing.
Yeah, I mean, cognitive dissonance is a very powerful thing. Yeah, I guess, depending. I mean, at least ANCAPs aren't like they're not they are like ideologically they're like close to fascism, but I mean like in the way like they do anything, I don't know. They don't there's
I'm not
no
talking about
central
the
ANCAP
spirit.
organization. They only exist on the internet. So
I'm
which I
not
think this is where
talking.
they should stay. This is where they should stay.
I'm
They
not
can have all
talking.
their forums and their shit. I don't care. Their subreddits, whatever. Just, keep on the internet.
Yeah, I'm not talking about most ANCAPs. I'm talking about very few of them. But most I would be more comfortable with left market anarchists and ANCAPs, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I don't know what you were
C4SS.
talking about. You were like talking about like on Blissful Melancholy's feed. It was like something about like C4SS.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I listen to their podcasts and stuff. They're good people. There's like I don't know if he's still there, but there's like one ANCAP writer on there, and he's just annoys me because I've heard all this shit before. It's
Mm-hmm.
stupid. But yeah, everybody there, like the marketers and mutualists and stuff like that. They're cool. You know,
Good thing.
there's
Good
like
thing.
there is, I guess, somewhat of a dogmatic thing, which I think is also a problem with the anarchist community. Is like if you're not like complete like 100% Kropotkin esque, Spooner esque, Stirner esque, anarcho-communist, mutualist, syndicalist,
Mm-hmm.
transhumanist, Waka Flocka Flame fan, then you can't be part of an organization. It's just like shut the fuck up.
Well, what's
like just
happening
like
is that
we should invite people. Like unless you're like making like an insurrectionist organization where like you have to trust people and you need to know you can trust them, then don't worry about it so much. If you don't like somebody, you can vote to like get rid of them. It's not that big of a deal. And even
well,
then,
yeah.
there's
Mm-hmm.
like some anarchists who like, oh, you can't have Marcus because they're inherently hierarchical, which means you're a piece of shit person. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't be an
Well,
asshole.
that ignores the historical anarchist tradition. A lot of anarchists I've noticed are passive, or even leftists are passive consumers of ideology rather than
Yeah,
active agents of anarchy.
yeah. Huh.
So they're in a way
Yeah.
they're feeding into capitalist alienation by acting like they do it on left book.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, but like it's just I dogmatism for any movement is a killer. I mean that's why that's why even that's why Marxist Leninist movements are so terrible in the
That's
U.S. Yeah. I mean, because not only is there not only like ideologically wise, but even just like the way they're like practical is like if you don't think Stalin was an awesome superhero person, you can't be a part of an organization. That's why they don't even allow like any Marxist Leninist who has some kind of criticism against Stalin. It's just ridiculous. Uh,
mm.
but
Well,
yeah, I
you see
mean,
that with other political movements, like libertarians are pretty dogmatic against left libertarians.
yeah. Well, I mean, you mean like right wing libertarians?
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean that makes sense, considering like left libertarians are like they're for markets and whatnot, but if you're not with the corporate elite, you can't be an American libertarian, basically.
If you're not a thin NEP only libertarian who shills for the corporations, you're not a real libertarian. Mm,
Do you know
yep. Mm.
do you know Vermin Supreme?
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. He's hilarious.
Yeah, I think because he was one of the Libertarian Party, and like he's
I wanted to vote for him, but I he wasn't on the ballot, so I ended up voting for Bernie Sanders.
you can write him in.
It was electronic though.
Oh, really? Okay, that sucks. I went there physically, and like because I went to go vote for Jill Stein, and when I got to the like the city hall, because like I thought you could like put so like a Jill Stein signs, because like everybody's like putting their signs on city hall, but like on election day they took them all down for some reason. I guess like not to influence the vote, and like I had my sign, I was just like, well, I already took it out, so I guess I'll just go in and vote anyway. And they kicked me out of the building because like I was carrying my Jill Stein sign around. So like I wasn't banned or anything. It just like saying you have to leave, sir. You have to take that outside. Okay. I guess I don't want to be too influential. Yeah,
Yeah, but like the Green Party's full of anti-vaxxers, unfortunately. It's
it's
pretty
true. Well, not
cringy.
full of them. They're just very vocal about it. That's all. Like
Mhm.
I remember lots of people saying, at least like on like CNN and more like liberal media, they were talking about how like Joel Stein was like believed only like the internet's gonna kill your kids, and and like she believed like in crystal medicine and all bunch of this like conspiracy theory bull crap, which it wasn't even her who said it. Because like Joel Stein, I mean, the problem with her is like she's like really agreeable with trying to when like she's like giving speeches and stuff, like answering questions, which often leads to misinterpretations, because the people who were saying like your internet harms your kids was just the people who were asking the questions, not Joel Stein herself. But yeah, that's just corporate media. They'll just use any excuse to say anything terrible about anybody who even like is somewhat progressive.
Well, yeah, and also like all the money people wasted on Bernie Sanders, who got screwed out anyways, and he would have, and even if he got in, he wouldn't do anything because he would have got blocked all the way through. That money could have been used for grassroots actions.
Yeah, I mean, at least Green Party they are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somewhat. At least here in Florida, they're like giving it to like using it for projects like to help homeless people and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I gotta tell you, like personally, my personal experience, because like I'm part of the Green Party here around like the Port Orange sort of area here in Florida. Um, and like I've been with them for like a year and a half, and like we haven't done anything. like now, like the only thing we've done like is like so far like fill out paperwork to become like officially a Green Party affiliate. But and like we have like a lot of great ideas too. Like we were thinking about like composting stuff like for the community, because here in Florida, all we do if like there's like any spirit trees or whatever, because obviously like we have a humongous amount of vegetation,
Mm-hmm.
and like whenever people like throw stuff out, it's always like goes to the dump, so it's like completely useless, even though we could definitely use it for like composting and stuff like that. So we were thinking about doing something like that, but we still haven't gone around to doing it. So I'm just so frustrated.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Oh.
first thing we've done is like we set up like tabling for like Earth Day, and we went to like go to LGBTQ move stuff. So, which was good, I guess, but it's not really activism. I guess it's just promoting Green Party. So, and I don't want to do just that. That's why I really want to do charity stuff because I actually want to be active in my community. I don't want to just sit around and talk. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Honestly, I'm just tired of like listening to Kyle Kalinske be like, "You just vote for Justice Democrats, and that'll fix
Oh my
everything."
god, yeah. Yeah, we have
Meanwhile,
a
Jay
and
Uber receives checks from like fucking investors
yeah.
for millions of
I,
dollars.
I mean, to be honest, like, it's really cool to be part of my Green Party because there's a lot of people who are very anti-capitalist or like full-on socialists. There's this one old guy, Walt, who's like been like part of like the Teamster movement and like did like a whole bunch of like crazy radical actions and stuff like that.
Mhm.
He like I think like because I think it was like in the late '60s or something or early '70s, and like he got into like a bar fight because he overheard somebody say the N-word. He just like punched the fuck out of them. And then, like he was also kind of wasted too, but like he like fucking beat the shit out of him, and he went to jail for a night.
Lol.
And then like the very next night, he went to like, and it was like a Christopher Columbus memorial, and he just like took a piss on it. Then he went to jail again. I was like, man, this guy so cool.
Rebel
And
guy.
he did like a whole bunch of crazy shit. He like it was like something like one of the Teamsters, one of like his Teamster comrades, they got killed by like a cop or something, and like they had him like in they had his coffin be taken throughout like a mall of America. I was like, holy shit, that's good praxis. Kind of really morbid, but hey, it works. It gets attention. I was like, man. So I like the people in my party. It's just like I want to do something. I
Mhm.
think they want to do something too. I just don't know what we're gonna do because like all we've been talking about is like tabling events. I'm just like I'm done with it. Like I'm like this close to just up and leaving. I don't want to leave because those people are cool, but I want to do something. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna stick it out for a
How,
little bit longer.
yeah, how's the anarchist community in your area?
Orlando. I mean, like I know a few anarchist people because like I'm part of like the punk scene too, and there's like a lot of people there too.
Hmm.
Um, at UCF we have like a lot of really cool people. Because like we had like Knights for Socialism, but unfortunately the leader there was like an asshole, and like most people left. So yeah, he's a dickhead. Because it was like a while ago, like last 2016. Um, he was the leader was like the one who said like it was like a leftist fighting club or whatever, fight club, and
Hmm.
basically that said like no Republicans, and the Republicans got mad, so like they went to the media and complained about it.
Oh,
it, was,
I
it was
saw
really
it.
it's really funny. It was like, oh
It's
man, those little
propaganda.
snowflakes.
Yeah, this was like so small government that they want to regulate women's bodies.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, unfortunately, the people will split off. We do have Orlando Workers League, which I know like a lot of UCF students. I mean, not like majority of UCF students, but a lot of like socialists are a part of, and they're doing stuff too. They're very cool. And then also in Gainesville, there's a lot of anarchists too. Anarchists. I think there's like a miniature gun club of something. It's not an official thing. I think it's more underground at the moment. But basically, they go out to a ranch and practice shooting and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I want to be down with that. I
Yeah,
probably like if I ever meet them,
cool.
like if I ever can go to the ranch, I'm probably gonna make a little Red Star video segment because I love interviewing people. I think it's talking to people like about like their experience and stuff is always very interesting. I love hearing stories about like activism and stuff like that. It's always very inspiring.
I want to hear the story of like the fucking what happened in Stonewall from a first person's perspective. That'd be fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
there's I mean there's a lot of autobiographies from the people who were there.
Oh yeah.
They write about it, so you could definitely look that up. But yeah, maybe like on video or something, because I'm sure there's a
There's
few
a
of them are at
lot.
least still alive.
Oh yeah.
Um,
They're old, but they're still alive.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
So.
the queer movement have lost a lot of its radicalism over the years.
Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate because like yeah, now it's just co-opted to like corporate liberalism and that's it. I mean there was kind of like a big deal here in Orlando about having cops within like the gay pride parade, which
Hmm.
they were there, but unfortunately this year. So, um, but yeah, I mean, because it was something like what do you call it, pinkwashing, I guess, of the police here in Orlando.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because in Orlando we have like a huge gay community, and there's like I don't know. There was kind of a I don't think there was like a big enough outcry or I guess to get him off the parade because I get because the parade thing was like a city council thing, so obviously they were gonna be there. Fortunately though, we did get the Orlando Workers League to march through, as well as the Disney Union as well.
Why don't
So that was
I don't get why don't they just have like a bunch of gay people or queer people disrupt it and just block it off for
I don't know because
mm,
they were also part of the parade too. So, but anyway, maybe the police presence was a bit was because there was a big police presence, because like was it because I was in 2017, just a year before that, because of the whole Pulse shooting thing. Um,
oh
yeah, so they're everywhere. Um, but yeah, so hey, at least I know people, so at least that's good. It's a start.
yeah. Anyways, about the whole charity idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really annoying how the state imposes all those barriers to entry fees for anything we
I
do.
know. I know. It's just it's tough. I mean there's certainly there have been a few successful organizations, socialists, anarchists and otherwise that have been more successful with I guess election wise and at least in terms I think there was like a few anarchist bookstores that are also nonprofit if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
I can't name any names right now because I just don't know. But yeah, there's been a few that have been successful. But yeah, so like basically, if you want to start a charity, you have to have money, and a lot of it too. So, oh well,
And a lot of charities are just basically tax havens.
yeah. We need an anarchist sugar daddy. we need another Kropotkin or something. I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna go for like we need a rich savior, but it would help. It would help.
It
But
also
yeah,
helps if we, or we can become a legalist, but that will kind of hurt our image more.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's certainly illegal activities that aren't violent or destroy property to some extent, like graffiti, for example.
True.
Um, because like it used to have like
Oh, I just
graffiti.
smashed a window. That's bad, but killing a black guy is obviously okay.
Yeah. Ugh. Or yeah, yeah, just like after the Super Bowl, there was like no police presence at like most riots that were happening because it was like mostly white people and mostly sports fans too. So yeah.
Sports, legitimate reason to riot. Rioting because one of your own got shot. Oh no, you're just thugs.
Yeah, civil rights. Pff, get out of here with that. But hey, sports rights, they're just hooligans. They're just kids. Yeah, boys will be boys. Whatever. Oh man, yeah. U.S. of A., greatest country in the world.
Wow.
Man. But yeah, charity thing though. Yeah, I think it's feasible. It'll just
Yeah.
take time. It just, I mean, I don't know if I had the dedication for something like that. It's just I think it'd be a good idea. I think we need a big rebranding of our image and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, we really need a rebranding, and we also need an outreach because our anarchist communities are so insular,
Hmm.
and we just spend
Yeah.
our time arguing each other on left book.
I mean, it seems like that. I like to think that we do more for communities and stuff.
I mean, we do, but I
Yeah,
mean, not as much as we could.
yeah. I mean, like if you look at, like on Facebook and forums and stuff like that and Reddit, yeah, there's you can if you look hard enough, there's always extremes for everybody, and they're usually the most vocal. So, um, but I met a lot of cool people. even like through online organizations and stuff like that. So I think it's all good. I'm sure once I get to UCF, I'll probably be a lot more active because I know Owl does a lot of stuff. Um,
Direct action. Yep.
yeah, boy. I mean, yeah, girl. Excuse me.
Mm. Direct action gets the goods.
In the
Yeah.
hoods.
Mhm. So like the anarchist movement has a bad PR problem, but it has a good direct action. But like the animal liberation movement has the opposite problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're good both ways because like I don't know who doesn't support liberating animals to some extent or who
I
doesn't
mean
care
the
about
animal
animals.
rights movement. Well,
Yeah,
typically entrenched interests like dairy and beef industry people.
yeah. I mean, I remember like I remember like reading about like the Green Scare, in the early 2000s. Like I don't know if you know what that is. You know what the Green
Oh yeah,
Scare is?
yeah. I know what that is. Yeah. Hello, Daniel. Anyway.
Um,
Oh. Yeah, I can hear you now.
okay, all right. Um, like I mean, obviously, I don't think a lot of people actually know who the Animal Liberation Front is, other than maybe anybody who's seen the movie Okja.
Can you
Because they're
explain
actually like
quickly about
featured as like
the
characters
green
in the movie.
scare from some of my audience? I know some of them will get it because that's the kind of people who watch my stuff, but there are a
Oh,
few
what do you want me to
people who
clarify?
won't. Yeah, about because I missed a part of what you were saying. The internet kind of cut out.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, like, I guess I don't really understand what Animal Liberation Front's like PR problem is. I think it's just because like they're only specifically an action oriented
Mhm.
organization, which is great. But that just means there's not a lot of buzz about them, or like nobody really knows who they
Oh,
are.
they
So
used to get a lot of buzz though,
I mean,
and
yeah,
they're
when they're arrested,
mhm.
when they're found out about, because they're very secretive, obviously. Um,
Well, with
also,
it's actually more complicated because at first they were willing to public over, but then the FBI tried to pass laws. Well, the animal agriculture industry tried to get past laws that made it more and more like bad, like illegal to do what they do. So you were
yeah,
driven underground because of entrenched interests.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't help that you can't if you try to promote a terrorist organization, you usually get a lot more flack from the government. So I can understand like well,
Yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't be willing to do that. Um, then again, Earth Liberation Front seems fine with that, and they're a terrorist organization. They publish their journal all the time. So I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
But I'm optimistic.
mhm.
I definitely think we can definitely. It's an easy problem to fix. We just need to get around to it.
Have you seen what the FBI wrote about anarcho terrorists
In Arco terrorists,
or
I
anarchist
mean,
terrorists?
we haven't really had any like bomb throwings or assassinations in a long time, so I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, but they're like we're a bunch of middle class white dudes who destroy property and don't have an ideology and just use it for as an excuse to commit crimes and stuff like that. Hello? Oh dang it.
Yeah, definitely seen something like. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying like, yeah, that definitely seems like the FBI would do.
Yeah, the same FBI who did COINTELPRO would tell the truth about anarchists.
Yeah, exactly. I was reading about that. I forget which police department did this. I think it was like Cincinnati, I believe. But like in their handbook, it was like they have like a police journal they release every once in a while.
Mhm.
It's like news and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting when you really look into it to actually like get like how cops think, which is very fascinating. I like to think. Um,
Just go to the Blue Lives Matter rally and you find out really fast.
yeah. um, but yeah, like yeah, they had like an article or something like they saying like how do detect an anarchist, and it was basically along the lines of yours. Soon as like usually like white males and like their late teens or something. Or, pursuit of extreme caution. um,
Lol.
they usually wear circle A symbols and wear black hoodies. They wear
Really?
they wear black Van skate shoes and can usually be seen at the skate park.
Lol.
Yeah, it's like what it's just yeah, it's just like they like searched up anarchist on like on Google Images and the first thing they found was like, okay, let's write an article on this. So, you know, that goes to show the creativity behind cops. They don't have anything. They don't have any creativity whatsoever. There's just nothing in here.
Neither do bootleggers or right wingers.
Yeah. I mean, bootlickers is a pretty broad term. I mean, I guess because like bootlickers and because I've met people who are just usually apolitical. I used to live in a community where it's just like people just do not care about politics. Like mostly people who I went to in high school.
A lot of my
Which like I
college,
guess
in my college, they either say they're apolitical or liberal because they're open minded.
yeah, sure. um, yeah, well, no, like apolitical people just like pure, like they don't anybody but themselves. At least that's the community I've seen. So I feel like they're more of an equivalent to like conservatives. Except conservatives usually at least stand for something. They actually have some sort of belief, and they usually, you know, want to do stuff. Apolitical people just live in blissful ignorance and just do not care, doesn't care at all about anybody but themselves.
And then there's
So,
Turning Point USA, which is a chapter of them on my campus.
oh my god, dude! Oh man, at UC we're having Charlie Kirk come to speak next
God.
month, I think. So that's gonna be fun. We have yeah, we're I'm gonna go for to that protest. That's gonna be fun. But yeah,
Yeah, I
Charlie Kirk.
started my own anarchist club in school, and I actually did one
Oh,
talk. It
nice.
was really successful. Yeah.
Oh,
So
how many members do
I've
you have?
done more than like fucking wiki anarchists on the internet.
All right. Well, you hate something, right? So, how many members do you have?
I just have like 30 people show up, which is
30?
not bad for a first one. 20,
30
30,
people?
20
Wow.
and 30.
So that's a full house. Damn. That's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
more than I've ever seen from Nights for Socialism was like 10, maybe 12 people at some
Hmm.
meeting. So, but now it's dissolved. So I think everybody else is like doing their own thing. One of my friends wanted to start what was it? It was like something called Witch. It was like Women's International. I forget. I gotta look it up. It's a really hilarious name, but it's basically like a anarchist anarcho feminist organization.
Mm.
I gotta look it up because like the name, I know you're gonna love the name. It's so good. It's so good. It'd be a great band name too. Because it's called Witch, like spelled as in like let me see. Let's see.
If you read the Doctrinaire Kropotkinite, you read a lot in this Wikipedia form on Left Book full of wiki Kropotkinites.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Um, just one second. Okay. Oh, they apparently have a lot of different names now. Let's see. Hold up. Mm, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, and they go to protests and like dress up in like witch costumes and stuff. It's great. Uh, they have like the Satan satanic symbol everywhere. Damn.
Lol.
What the? Yeah, I know you'd like that.
Yeah, just don't tell
The
my
acronym is
dad
great
that.
though. I swear I gotta try it. Okay. Uh,
Someone asked me, isn't veganism sort of apolitical? Well, it depends. Radical veganism, no, but like the mainstream stuff, yeah. It's a movement that's gotten
okay.
watered down over the years.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here, let's listen to this. Witches International Troublemaker Conspiracy from Hell. Is that great?
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, and they've apparently been around since like the late '60s, so they've been going they've been going
As long
for a
as it's not
while.
turfy or swerfy, I'm fine.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't such a fucking cis white male cuck so I can join. Maybe I could help out in some indirect way. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just like we don't have any. There's no anarchist organization I know has that cool of a name.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty hungry right now, and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So, you want to talk about
Alright.
anything else before we leave?
Oh, just wrap up an old charity thing.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a feasible idea, but we need money. So donate to our Patreons. Thanks.
Or just kill themselves. Or
Yeah. Or
fucking
people put somebody please steal our idea. Um, so we could also be a part of it because we would love to help in any sense. But yeah, like my life is just really busy right now. I would love to be part of a community thing, but I'd rather just be part of something that's already established right now than starting something. But yeah,
mhm.
I think a charity is a good solution to our problems. So people wouldn't like because like the media can't really go after a charity like if they do, it's just kind of like it would look bad for them, in my
This
opinion.
is gonna look like this should be like a PR problem for the media.
Yeah. So even better, I guess. um.
But we're also gonna need our own media too. We got Stimulator and C4SS, but Stimulator is too riot porny, and C4SS is too market
Actually, like
anarchy.
sub media isn't so rah riots at the moment.
Yeah, they
Because
haven't
right
been.
now they do like a lot more educational videos right now, but way
Mm,
too much of it is too academic. You know, like we would get it because like obviously we reread the stuff. We read all about all this sort of thing. We're like very familiar with it. But like to like newcomers, it's just a bit too much. It's just too much jargon just to fit into like 5 minutes. And they speak like super fast too. So yeah, some media get your shit together. You guys should do a bit of a rewrite. That's what editing's for. I would know. I'm a writer. So um
I would
yeah,
love to start my own anarchist talk show. To be honest,
yeah, we need like
kind of like TYT, except not shit at all.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Alex Jones can like pull in a big audience and he gets to say the shit he wants to, we can do the same thing.
Mm.
I think maybe the closest thing that's like a popular socialist kind of anarchist media sort of thing is Lee Camp's show Redacted Tonight.
Oh, I love that
You heard that?
show.
Yeah, that's a great show, and that pulls in the pretty substantial audience too, and mostly of young people, which is very cool. And he's funny, so always having humor is a good plan. Alex Jones is hilarious too, but I don't think he realizes it. So,
Oh yeah, he's
no,
so memeable.
yeah, but hey, I gotta go. But before I go, one thing I want to say first is I if anybody watches the Eric Andre show and you know what he does, I want him to invite Richard Spencer as a guest so Hannibal can kick him in the face or just like beat the shit.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I don't need anything else in my life after that. I die happy just from watching Richard Spencer getting the shit kicked out of him from Eric Andre and Hannibal. Uh, but yeah.
Honestly, white nationalists deserve more of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and one more thing. One more thing. Please check out Red Star videos. Shameless product placement. We have been on a hiatus for not a little while. It's been like 3 months now, but we still got videos and stuff. We're planning to work on things. It's just life is really hectic right now with college and all.
Please
And
spread
I'm like
Marxism.
working on my anarchist novel and movie. So it's taking a long time.
Please
So
spread our
yeah. Anyway,
cultural
rest of our
Marxism.
videos. Huh?
See, please spread our cultural Marxism.
Please share our soy boys all around the world. International soy boy, internationality. Thank you.
Adios.
All right. Bye, vegan.